In a land above the clouds, where the wind carried the memory of empires, and mountains rose like silent walls against the sky, there lived a king whose name would echo across centuries. His name was Sengge Namgyal. He would later be remembered as the Lion of Ladakh. In the early 17th century, Ladakh was not an isolated land. It stood at the crossroads of civilizations. To the east lay Tibet. To the west, Central Asia and Kashmir. Trade caravans crossed its high passes, carrying silk, salt, wool, and precious goods. But trade brought more than wealth. It brought ambition, and ambition brought conflict. Sengge Namgyal was born into the Namgyal dynasty, a royal lineage that had already shaped Ladakh's political identity. Yet when he ascended the throne in 1616, the kingdom faced uncertainty. Borders were fragile, alliances were shifting, rival powers watched closely. He understood that survival in the Himalayas required more than faith. It required strength. He reorganized the kingdom's defenses. He strengthened fortifications along vital mountain routes. He secured trade corridors that were essential to Ladakh's prosperity. But he did not stop at defense. Sengge Namgyal expanded Ladakh's influence into Western Tibet, including the region of Guge. His military campaigns were not reckless invasions. They were strategic assertions of power in a landscape where hesitation invited defeat. Battles were fought across unforgiving terrain. Soldiers marched through narrow passes carved by ice and wind. Altitude thinned the air and tested endurance. The cold desert offered no mercy. Steel clashed in thin mountain air. War cries echoed between stone cliffs. And through calculated strategy, Ladakh maintained its position as a rising Himalayan power. Yet Sengge Namgyal's greatness was not defined by war alone. It was defined by what he built. He began construction of the magnificent Leh Palace, rising above the valley like a guardian of stone. Inspired by Tibetan architectural styles, the palace stood as a symbol of authority, ambition, and vision. From its windows, one could see the vast expanse of Ladakh, a kingdom secured through strength and discipline. He also strengthened major monasteries, including Hemis and Thixi. Under his patronage, Buddhism flourished. Monastic institutions grew in influence and stability. Sengge Namgyal understood something rare among rulers. Power alone did not secure legacy. Culture did. Faith did. Architecture did. Under his reign, Ladakh experienced a period of stability and growth. Trade continued across the Silk Route networks. The kingdom's identity deepened. Its confidence expanded. But power always carried consequences. As Ladakh grew stronger, tensions with neighboring forces increased. Political pressure mounted. Regional conflicts intensified. The Himalayan balance of power was delicate, and even lions could not control the shifting winds of history forever. Sengge Namgyal's reign ended in 1642, yet the structures he built remained. The monasteries endured. The palace still overlooked the valley, and his name remained woven into the identity of Ladakh. He had transformed a vulnerable mountain kingdom into a respected regional power. He had defended trade, strengthened faith, expanded influence, and shaped architecture that still defined the skyline. Today, when the sun sets behind the Himalayas and long shadows stretch across Leh Palace, the past does not feel distant. The mountains still stand, the wind still moves through the valleys, and history still whispers. Sengge Namgyal was more than a king. He was a strategist, a warrior, a builder, a guardian of Ladakh. In a land carved by wind and stone, greatness was never measured by conquest alone. It was measured by endurance. And the Lion of Ladakh endured. Even now, In the silence of the high passes, his legacy still stands.